Hello everyone. It is Saturday, March the 28th. How are you doing? Give me just a second as I pull up this video and hopefully I'll be able to follow in today's comments. Hopefully the live comment section will work today too. Yesterday was a great day, right? Hello everybody. Today we're going to be making the double necktie quilt block. Hello. Oh, I'm freezing up. Y'all give me just a second. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves if I'm not totally frozen up. There we go. All right. Yay! I was like, no, please, work. Hello, everybody. It's Saturday, the 28th of March. We're making the double necktie block. You'll see an example picture of that block right here, and you'll also notice some scrolling text going across the screen. I made an example one of these blocks yesterday because for me, this is the first time I've done the double necktie block. And I wanted to make sure that all the measurements were good. And when I made my double necktie block, I'm going to show you an example here in just a second. It's on my table. Good morning, everybody. I liked it, but I want to make my little triangles that run diagonally through this block a little bit bigger. So I'm going to actually modify this block. You're going to see both blocks when we're done. I'll be using a 2" by 2" block. So if you're going to be sewing live with me, you have your choice. Let me show you my screen, my work table here. This is the double necktie block that I made yesterday. And you'll see my little snowballs. We're doing snowballs today. So while many of you are really new to sewing and quilting, and this might look really complicated, it's super duper easy. And I can't wait to show you that. But my little triangles are tiny. And I want to make them bigger. So this is what your block will look like if you use the 1.5 by 1.5 inch square that was listed on the screen. I'm going to modify the block we're making today. Today I'm going to be using yellow and purple, my favorite color. And I'm going to actually modify the size of the block to a 2" block. And that will give me a little bit of a bigger triangle right there. So you really have your choice what size you want to use, and that's what we're doing in today's video. Making bowl cozies is not for you, Jerry. Yeah, my mom, she made 2, and she was done with her bowl cozy making career. 2. She made 2. And then she didn't even want the fabric anymore. She gave it all to me. This is some of her fabric. Many of the blocks that we're making in this series, I have made before. The ones that I have not made, like I had not made a turn dash block before. So I made one the day before we went live, and then I made one with you in the live video. I had never made a double necktie block before either. So yesterday I made one just to check the measurements. And then I'm going to be making one with these fabrics live with you today. So I'm going to end up, who knows how long the series is going on for, how long we're shut in for, but I might end up with a good amount of blocks that I can make 2 quilts with. I don't know. Hello everybody, it's so great to see y'all. So before we begin today's tutorial, or sew along, sewing our block together, I just want to say a couple things. This is our social hour. So feel free to have conversations during the live chat. I am hoping that everything that we flow nice and smooth today. My parents are streaming a movie on the Netflix downstairs. And right now we seem to be okay with that. You know, our internet here, we don't have FiOS or underground fast internet in my neighborhood. So we're really at the mercy of the speed of our internet, but right now everything seems to be going smooth. So yes, feel free to have conversations in the live chat. And if you're watching this on the replay, I'm so glad you're here. Feel free to answer questions. I have like 3 questions we're going to ask today. Feel free to answer those questions down in the comments section because I would really love to hear from you. As we begin this tutorial, know that I do see comments going through. I always come back when the video is over and read the live chat. Hopefully, if you have a question, I don't miss it. And it's really helpful if you maybe put your questions in all caps if you can. That makes it a little bit easier for me to scroll quickly and see a question. Otherwise, I come back after the live and I read through all of your answers and your conversations. But yes, feel free to have the conversation. That's the main reason why we're doing these lives. Hopefully we learn something new along the way. Many of you might have already made a double necktie block. So that'll be our first question is, have you made a double necktie quilt block before? Also keep in mind that this block is very well possible that this quilt block has another name other than double necktie. A lot of traditional quilt blocks go by several different names, but have you ever made this block before? As I get set up, I'm going to leave the measurements on the screen for just a few more minutes. And to let you know, tomorrow we are making the cotton ball block, and I'm going to put those measurements and piece counts on the screen before we're done in today's live. Wow, y'all are piecing quilts fast because of the shut-in. That is fast. Alexis, you've never made any block. Well, if you want to make a block, we're going to get you making some blocks, right? Never made this block. All right, so this will be something new for everybody. This was the first time that I had made this block too. And just let me tell you, I think this block lends perfectly to the possibility of doing this block several times and making a whole quilt with just this one block. It's a 12-inch block, y'all. A quilt's going to go together really quickly doing a 12-inch double necktie block. All right, so let me switch over. Let me switch the screens now. And I'm going to bring you down here. Now I'm going to take this away, but at the end of the video, I'm going to bring it back so we can compare this block with the one I'm making today using a 2-inch block instead of the smaller 1.5 by 1.5, okay? So we will be bringing that back as a comparison block. So here we are. Here's our pieces for today. We should have 5 darker blocks, and 4 lighter blocks. So let's go ahead and lay this block out, right? We're going to do just like a little checkerboard here. Your darks in the middle and 4 corners. So far, easy peasy, right? We're going to take our light ones and fill in the spaces. This yellow fabric is so hard. It's got a right way and a wrong way, but they're so close, it's easy to get them turned around. There we go. I think that one's upside down. There we go. So this is the layout for our block. Super simple, right? Now we're going to learn the snowballing. Snowballing. Just letting you know, I'm going to be focusing on the pieces here. I'm going to come back and read through everything. If you have questions, put them in all caps. It might be easy for me to read. Otherwise, I'm going to read everything after the live is over because I can't wait to see what y'all talk about. Now the snowballing. What we're going to do is we're going to place a square right here on this corner. We're going to place a square here on this corner, one on this corner, and one on this corner. And let me grab a marker. You might want to use a heat erasing pen or like a pencil. I'm using a marker so that it shows up really well, that you can see the line. On the back side, the unpretty side, the wrong side of the fabric, we're going to take a marker or your pen and we're going to draw a line from corner to corner on the back side of our smaller squares. Just one line, corner to corner. Go ahead and take a second if you're making this block live with me and do that. One line diagonally on the wrong side. This yellow fabric is so hard to tell which side is the right side. So you are marking 4 lines diagonally on these little tiny blocks. But guess what? We're not piecing these little tiny blocks. Nope. We're not piecing them at all. So now with your blocks that are marked, place them back on these 3 diagonal blocks and make sure that diagonal is not lined up with your corner. It's going to be from side to side so that this forms a little triangle right in your corners, okay? It's easy to get it mixed up. If your block looks like this, you have it placed wrong. Spin it around just like this. And guess what? All you have to do now is line this up with the needle of your machine and sew directly on that line. Okay, we're not sewing a seam allowance. We're sewing directly on this line, straight across on that line. So I'm going to take this first block over. Hello everybody. I know you cannot see what I'm doing. I've tried moving this camera every which way and I still can't fit everything in. All right, sew on the line. Make sure your block is lined up directly to the raw edges on both sides and sew from edge to edge right on that line. And I'm going to take a second and do that. So I'm going to try to hold this up to the camera so that you can see. It might be fuzzy because my camera is actually focused for the tabletop. But I sewed directly on the marked line from edge to edge. Now we're going to repeat that for the remaining 3 other blocks. So it's going to take me just a second. And if you're sewing along live, that's the next thing we're going to do is just sew right on that line with the 3 other blocks. And I have a question too for those of you who are just watching and not sewing right at this minute. You're going to sew later on. How long have you been sewing or quilting? I'm really hoping that the comments are not frozen up. Let me just check. Nope, I think we're good. How long have you been sewing or quilting? That middle block will have 2 snowballs in it. So here we are. Here are my 4 snowballs. So the most complicated part of this block is done. Sewing on the straight diagonal line, right? Now we're going to take these and we're going to trim a 1/4 inch seam allowance. We're trimming towards this side of the block, towards the corner, not into our block, okay? And so that looks like this. Line up your ruler. The line that you sewed on, line that up with the 1/4 inch mark on your ruler and trim away all of this extra bit right there. Just like that. See how simple that is? Super duper simple. So repeat that process for each of your other 3 snowballs. And that is as complicated as it gets right there. I love blocks that look more complicated than they actually are. So that's all of our trimming. That's all the waste that we have for this block right there. And now we can press our little triangle open, right? I'm going to set that seam and just press it open just like that. It's going to take me a second. I have to let my iron warm up because it was in sleeping mode. So here it is. Here's my first one pressed just like that. So we've done intricate piecing, but not really. Let me go iron these other ones. Here's my middle one. And when you place them back down on your table, make sure that they're going diagonal. The little snowballs should be meeting right in these corners. Just like that. And guess what? The hard work is over. Isn't that super easy? Now we're just sewing together a 9 patch. Just sewing together a 9 patch. I'm going to leave this on the screen for just a second and see if I have any questions. If not, we're going to go ahead and move on. Wow, I love that y'all are having conversation. I love it. I cannot wait to go back and read all of your answers. So there we go. Now we're just sewing together the 9 patch. And I'm going to start chain piecing this together just like this. We're turning the second block, pretty side facing down onto that first block of each row and sewing this seam with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Here is my second question for the day. And y'all, I'm already starting to think about food. If you know me at all, that's one of my favorite pastimes, is eating. Not so much cooking, but eating. What are y'all having for dinner tonight? Bring over this third set. Dutch soup. Oh, that sounds delicious. I don't know that I've ever had that. So here are my first pieces. I'm going to leave them all connected so they stay in order, and hopefully I don't swap anything around. We're going to flip this third block right over and piece that together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Ooh, some shrimp and ham. Oh my goodness. Bringing over the middle block. And now we have our last little part of our 9 patch. And at this point, our rows are together. Here we go. We're going to start seeing a little bit of a reveal of our snowballs. Just like this, we're coming together. I love purple and yellow paired together in a quilt. All right, so I have my rows separated. Let me go ahead and press these, and y'all know I press my seams to the side, alternating directions, so I can nest my seams. If you want to press your blocks open, you are free to do that. Press your seams open. So there's our first block. Let me press this second one. I say block, I mean row. Here is row number 2. And then row number 3. So that's all pressed. And here's our third question, our last question for today is, what is an item? Okay, if we were free to roam about freely and go do whatever we wanted to do, and money was no object, it didn't matter the price, what is an item on your wish list that if you could go right now, money's not an object, what is one item on a wish list that you would purchase today? For some of you, it might be a long arm or a new sewing machine. It might be a Brother Scan and Cut. It could be an RV to travel in. It could be a house. It might be a new car. It might be a cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. What is one item that if you could go right now and money was not an object, you would go out and get today? Now we're just assembling our rows, right? We're going to turn the second row onto the first and sew this seam with a 1/4" seam allowance. You would get a quilt made by Lisa? Wow. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That just made my day. You could have a cheesecake. I'm just nesting these seams as I travel. I wish you could see that. I know you cannot. Coming back. Cut, cut, cut. There we go. All right, let's open up rows 1 and 2. We're going to add the 3rd row right to the bottom. And we're going to sew that seam with a 1/4" seam allowance. Oh, I cannot wait to go back and read all of the items on your wish list. If money were not an object, and you could go right now, what is an item on a wish list that you would get today? I think it's fun to play the little games. I think it really helps us get to know each other really well, right? All right, I'm done with that seam and I'm going to press my block. Give me just a second and we're going to have the big reveal of the double necktie block. Double necktie block. Well, as we do the big reveal, I have to say yesterday's churn dash block was my favorite so far. It has a strong contender. I'm liking the double necktie block too. Look at that. Can you imagine this block repeated several times to make a quilt just with this one block? Can you imagine that? Oh, it would be gorgeous. I would love to see that. So there's the little 2" squares, a little bit bigger. Let me bring back and show you what the difference between the 1.5" and the 2" square, the difference that makes. There we go. I think the necktie is more predominant in the 2" variation. You can certainly make it with the smaller 1.5 by 1.5 block as well, but that's really what the difference is. Let me turn this way and make sure they're both going the same way. There we go. That's the difference between the 1.5" block and the 2" block. I think this is more predominant. The bow ties are more predominant. Yes, I'm excited about the double necktie block. Look how pretty that is. I'm going to leave this up on the screen for for anyone who might have just joined us and wants to take a look at this for a minute. What we've done today, and you can go back and catch the replay if you missed the beginning. I gave out the piece counts and measurements to make this block. This block measures right now 12.5 by 12.5. It'll finish 12 inches in your quilt, okay? For these little parts, the parts that we snowballed, in the measurements, I gave out a 1.5 by 1.5 inch square measurement. That's what I made this block with. Today, I'm sewing a variation of that and changed it to 2 inches, and you can see the difference in the little snowballs. This one's bigger, and the bow tie is a little bit more predominant. That being said, yesterday when I made this block, I ran out of this colored fabric. I think if I would have had enough to do the 1.5 inch here, that you would have seen the bow ties pretty too. This kind of blends in with this background, right? So it's not that predominant. If this was the same as this, I think you would have seen it more. So keep that in mind. Yes, I'm so glad to see everybody. I'm telling you, I'm really liking these live videos and spending time with you every day. I really like it a lot. So this is the double necktie block. It's a strong contender. I would say I like this block equally as much as I like the churn dash block that we did yesterday. So there are the two different variations. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a sip of water. And then I'm going to change the screen and I'm going to show you what we're doing tomorrow. Tomorrow's block is going to be smaller. But on a note about the size of tomorrow's block will finish at 6.5 by 6.5. In your quilt project, it will be 6 inches by 6 inches. However, that block will be easily modified to make it bigger if you want to. The math will be super duper easy for the cotton ball block. You should see that up on the screen right here. Now, I was just live on Facebook and we were having a discussion about the name of this block. I think I might have spelt it wrong, y'all. When I saw this, I saw cotton ball. And then when I recaught it, I saw it was spelled B-O-L-L. And I said, well, surely that's a typo. But no, I think I have it spelt wrong. But we're going to call the block we're doing tomorrow cotton ball, okay? We're going to rename it. Why not? Because most of these traditional blocks go by several different names anyways, right? So that's what we're doing tomorrow. You should see it up on this screen. We're going to be working with two fabric colors, a light and a dark. The measurements are on this screen, so if you want to jot that down or take a screenshot, I'm going to leave them up for just a few minutes. And if you miss it, you can catch me on the replay. It's going to take a few minutes for this video to process, but then it will be on my YouTube channel and you'll see this pretty purple and yellow double necktie block as the thumbnail for this video. So keep your eyes out for that when I'm able to change that shortly. Yes, I like it with the 2-inch modification too. So I definitely wanted to share that with you. I hope I haven't made it confusing by changing that up, but I did want to show you the variation. Thank you so much, Jerry, it's not a typo. Cotton ball is the raw cotton on the plant. I learned something new today. So tomorrow we're going to change the name a little bit. We're going to call it cotton ball. Yes. I cannot wait to go back and read all of your conversations and all of the answers to the questions that we've asked today. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I'm having a lot of fun doing this series. I will tell you that. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to a channel that I just found out about this morning. Where did I write that down? Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Hold on 1 second. I think I got rid of the wrong note card. Where'd it go? I know I just put that somewhere where I could find it. It might be in my planner. I bet you it's in my planner. In the description box, when we're done, make sure to open up the description box because I'm going to put the name of a YouTube channel that I just found out about this morning. She lives locally to me, and I met her today in a Quilts of Valor group. We did a Zoom, and she just started a YouTube channel not that long ago, and I checked out her channel. She has some really great videos, and so I'm just going to recommend that y'all check her out, but I think I put the card in my planner. So I have to go get my planner, and I'll put the channel name in the description box. I did not know Blueprint is free until April the 9th. I'll tell you what I did. I did pay for a month of Zoom. Zoom is free, but there's some limitations like you only go for 40 minutes during a live Zoom meeting, and then it cuts off. If you want to continue the conversation, everybody has to join back in. I did pay for Zoom, so now we can have unlimited time meetings. So we're doing a Zoom tonight on Creative Crew Group. I'm having a lot of fun too. I really am. And I think I'm getting better at this. As long as I don't have any mishaps during the live, things go pretty smooth, right? Linda, you just figured out how to type out a message in the live and I'm finishing up. Well, now you know for tomorrow, right? Now you know how to do it. You'll be quick tomorrow. Blueprint, I guess they do classes. Sue is going to go take a free class right after this video. That's awesome. The Zoom tonight, yes. If you're a member of the Creative Crew Facebook group, I'll post a link this evening. I'm thinking 8 o'clock-ish p.m. We're not doing a Zoom during the day today, but we'll hang out tonight and talk. I will really miss doing the Zooms every day too. However, when life goes back to normal, I won't be able to come in during the day to do my Zooms there. But I have figured out that we're going to Zoom like bi-weekly. We could do that, right? Either once in the afternoon and once in the evening, twice a month. I would really like to do that because I'm going to tell you, as we close for today, I have gotten to meet so many awesome people, and during this time where we're coming live and I get the interaction, I get to talk to you. Halo Inspirations. Thank you. I wrote down your channel name and I put it in my planner over there. I was trying to tell everybody about your channel. Halo Inspirations. Y'all make sure to go check out her channel. Before I went live today, I did go check out your channel and you have some awesome videos over there. So y'all go make sure to check out Halo Inspirations. Yes. Yes. It was so great to meet you today in the Zoom. I think it would be awesome if we did a little collaboration of some sorts, maybe, if you're interested. But yes, y'all, I have gotten to know you even better because we've been able to interact, right? And yes, I feel like we're connected so much more. So good things come out of bad situations, right? That's one way to look at it. Good things come out of bad situations. All right, y'all. Ooh, you're getting some subscribers. Yay. All right, I am off to do some stuff. I see the sun's coming out. Until I see you tomorrow, if you've missed the measurements for tomorrow's block, the cotton ball, we're varying the name a little bit. Come back on the replay. You can write them down. And tomorrow, at the end of tomorrow's video, I'll give you the measurements and piece requirements for the block we're doing on Monday. Have an awesome day, everybody. I hope you you share your pictures with me of the double necktie. I've had a lot of fun. Bye.